Hello again, Sam Fields. This will be the second part of the Kettlebell technique, Kettlebell 1 techniques course. I am Sam Fields, as I said. This is Ridwan, my trusty student. In this video, we're going to go through the clean, the press, the contralateral press, the snatch, the swing snatch, the reverse windmill, and I'm not sure if we're meant to be doing the windmill, but it is in the Classic 30 complex, so I have included it anyway, even though it wasn't included in the document. But either way, hopefully that all works out. We're in the same situation. Got a fairly big area. We've got a 12 kilo and a 16 kilo, a pud in, or pud, or however you say it in Russian, which is from that history notes thing. So normally we'd set up half moon, I'd set up here, and that way if any kettlebells come at me, I can dodge if need be. I'm also able to see everyone as well and make adjustments if need be. Today, unfortunately, I was going to have a couple of people here today, but one of them had a late night last night, so he's not here. But Ridwan is trusty. He's here at 6 AM every morning with me. So today we're going to start out with the clean. Now this particular technique again requires the use of the deadlift in order to start off the movement. I think hopefully that's not too on an angle. Looks a little bit on an angle from this distance. Apologies for the digression. So we're looking to start off obviously with a clean, doing a deadlift, but like the sumo pull, trying to get it up. But as we bring it up to the top, we're getting our arm underneath it, so it lands on our forearm. We don't want it to hit our forearm. We want to get under the kettlebell, under the actual bell, and it almost sort of float to there, okay? Now, I've found that heavier kettlebells are actually better for this, for particularly guys, not having a go at the ladies, but I would probably recommend that the ladies start with the 12 kilo and then move to the 16, whereas with guys, I would say start with the 16 and go from there, unless you've got some requirements, etc. Now, one of the reasons being is because I found that we tend to blast a bit too high and it does land on your forearm, which is not what we're looking to do. Okay, so as we pull up, we're getting underneath and we're holding it at approximately here on our chest. Our wrist is neutral, so we're not gripping when it gets here. We're just holding it neutrally. And the bell is sitting here. This is known as the rack position. All right. Now, the rack position is like a resting position with kettlebells, and it allows you to obviously go on to the other movements, press, etc. But it also means that you can relax or do some kettlebell squats, that kind of thing. But we'll go into them later. So as we're lifting up, we try and get underneath with our arm so that it lands softly on our forearm. And then in the rack position, we're off balancing or counterbalancing, not off balancing, counterbalancing by leaning back slightly. All right, just enough. We don't want to be like this because that puts strain on our lower back. It's just enough to counterbalance. the bell. So I'll show you here. Boom. So, all right. Neutral hand. I like to just play with my beard a little bit. Reminds me of where it is. All right. But from here, we can see that it's sitting on my arm, and we can then go back down, and we just get it up here. All right. Now, as we put it down to the ground, we're just flicking it over our wrist and down to the ground. All right. Now, I will show it on the 16, just so that was actually a bit smoother than I originally sort of thought. Maybe I am getting weaker because of the lack of exercise. But I'm going to use the 16 kilo and show a different angle from mine. As we are still driving up using our glutes, we are still using that posterior chain. All right. This is not a trying to get it up like that. We are using our entire body and then getting underneath. Okay? So, all right, slightly leaning backwards to offset the weight of the kettlebell, and then okay. Now, notice the breathing pattern. Breathe out as we walk. Take it up. All right. Now, and that's kind of the breathing pattern for many of the techniques at that sort of upper end. All right. Now, I'll get you to pick which sides you want to use.
Yep.
So we're starting, yep, excellent, straight back, chest out, lovely. So yeah, neutral arm, excellent. All right, can I see it again? Good, good. So it's not, yeah, good. So what we're looking to make sure is that that doesn't slap onto our forearm. So that's good, it's rolling around onto it. Good. Excellent. And you are slightly, go for it. Right, with this one you are leaning back slightly, which is good.
Yeah.
So I'll get you to just turn to your side so the camera can see. Yeah, strong back, and slightly leaning back with a 12. It's maybe not as pronounced. Maybe I can request that you do the 16 just. Stop being weak! Okay, so yeah, so now you've got a little bit more of a lean. Yeah, excellent, excellent. All right. That's all right. Yeah, good, good. All right. Now, the clean is obviously a fundamental technique. And it also gets you in a position where you can do the press, all right? So once we get to that clean, to that rack position, where it's sitting there, it's fairly neutral, you're not engaging too much muscle, you're using a lot of structure at this point. So once you get to the clean, it's once you finish the clean, all right, that was a bit more of a slap than I would like, but I think that's because I went from the 16. From here, we're going to just do the press. And the press is just putting our arm to the ceiling with the kettlebell and maintaining a 45-degree with the handle across our hand and the kettlebell leaning against the back of our forearm. All right, so it'll look like this. Okay, and then back down to the rack position. All right. All right. to the clean to the rack, not up to the clean. Alright, we've got a neutral. So as we get up to the top, we're not looking to lock it out, we're looking to keep it strong, firm, and neutral wrist again. The bell is going to be sitting against that part of our arm, and we're holding it out and then bringing it back down. Right, excellent. Again, try not to lock it out, but maintain the strength. Yeah, good. Yep, good. Sweet, excellent. And if you can just keep it in rack and do a quick turn. So turn, turn. So that the camera can see. Alright. Yeah, good. Now, with this, we kind of want it to be in line with our ear. Not, sorry, when I said that, in line rather than on. So, up, but so that our ear, so that it's not, yes,
yeah.
A bit better. Let's see that straight up and down. It's a little bit far back. Sorry. Yeah, that's about right, but not so close to your head. I'm making you think too much. No, that's better. That's much better.
Yeah.
Yep. Yes, that's it. That's it. Yes. Yeah. All right. Yes. Sorry, but mid. But we've got to get it right. Yeah. So we're looking as we have it up. All right. We've got to maintain obviously structure. We're keeping our core engaged. We're also, as we lift up, and that keeps our core engaged. But see how it's basically hiding my ear if I'm on the side. Right? Yeah. So yeah. Cool. All right. So we've done the press. Now we have. I'm not sure if it wasn't requested in the document, but you can do. Well, we'll just do what was requested in the document, I think. So now we're going to do the contralateral press. Okay. So the contralateral press. It's essentially ghosts. Essentially, we're doing a press, so doing that same press, but we're going to be doing it kneeling. Contralateral, as we spoke about before, contra, opposing, lateral side. So he's on my contralateral. Terrible, not even a joke. All right, so now one of the movements that we also need to get really accustomed to is the backward lunge. Okay, and the backward lunge with a kettlebell is actually well, the backward lunge without a kettlebell is actually quite taxing. So with a kettlebell, it's going to be even more fun. So what we'll do is we'll get to the top of the press. So clean, up to rack, up to a press. We've got a neutral hand, and we're going to backwards lunge, and down into a kneeling pattern position. All right, and then press from here. Okay. All right. And okay. So clean.
Yep.
Rack. Press. Backwards on the exactly same side, and then This is one of those ones that it's actually engaging a lot of your core muscles because you're stabilizing as you're kneeling, okay? And then again, knee on the ground, excellent. Oh yeah, you're on camera, excellent. Oh fuck, don't tell me that. I thought for a second there that was red, which meant it wasn't recording. Okay, so clean to rack, excellent. Press, yep. Down, first lunge, and now press. Good. Yes, that's good. That's good. Now remember, neutral hand at the top, neutral hand at the rack. Yeah, good. Good. Excellent. Nice work. All right, so that's the contralateral press. We're getting to the front end, but what we're looking to do now is the snatch. Now, in a previous test video, I'd actually watched too much YouTube and was doing like a bastardized version of a clean and jerk. The snatch is what you were doing, which is straight up, okay? So, we're not taking any pause at the clean, at the rack, sorry. I'm forever getting those two words. We're not pausing at the rack like in the clean. Yep, that's a better way to say it. We're just going from here all the way to the top, okay? And as we do that, again, like all the movements, we're using our posterior chain, we're using our glutes. All of this is to build the momentum up to get it up there so that it feels like, even though it is working your shoulders, it is working your arms, it is working everything, it feels like it's just working your glutes. Well, it doesn't, it feels like it's working everything in unison rather than your arms or anything in isolation. Okay? So, like the clean, like everything else that we've started with, we're doing a deadlift. Alright, but that deadlift is now going to be quite forceful in order to get it all the way to the top. Alright, so deadlift position and then grip, strong grip, up, straight up. Okay, we can look up and then on the way back down, we can put it into rack and then down. All right, so we're going to go again, up, and put it into rack and then down. All right, I'll go from the side just so that we can do that. So a little bit taxing on one arm with a 2-year-old. So hips back, back straight, chest out, driving up. It's hanging over the back of the arm. The grip is loose. I'm not sure if you can still see that, but then we can put it back down and go from there. All right, I'll get you to do a couple for me so I can make sure that structure's right. Excellent. Nice. Back straight, chest out. Want to be a bit smoother with that kettlebell going over the back of the arm, but that's all right. Just quickly. Yep, much better. Excellent. Alright, on the side. Yep. Just want to be able to see kettlebell sort of hit your forearm a bit more there. So just make that a little bit smoother. Yes, much better. Yes, excellent. All right, now we're going to incorporate the swing and the snatch. All right. So one of the best things about kettlebells is that we can make intense workouts in short periods of time. Right? And one of the key things to this is that we don't need to keep putting it down. All right. So we've got the kettlebell. We're going to do a snatch. All right. Now it's up top, but we don't want to spend that extra 2 seconds to have it sit on the ground. All right. So we're going to just let it have a bit of a swing to it, and we're just going to, very similar to a kettlebell swing, except for we're going to use that momentum to get back up to the top. Okay? So. All right. Now, this requires like a little bit of a flick of the wrist, Kevin Gates flick of the wrist. And as it comes down, you can slowly stop it here, but we're trying to keep that momentum going back up.
Slow, keep the swing.
So as like that rack is kind of a stop position sometimes. You don't need to stop there, but it can be like with the snatch we want to go straight back up, but as it comes down we can kind of bounce it off that. I wouldn't say bounce, but you know, it will be like a
keep it moving station.
Keep it moving station. Yeah,
okay.
Good call.
Keep it moving station.
Now, just on the ground again, I just want to test something. So I think I may be putting you in the wrong direction. So, so just want to make sure. So. Yeah, no, I'm right. So yeah, yep. That's all right. No, it's exactly what I said. So, yes, it's all right. All good. So if you can do it from the side, that would be fantastic. Okay, you finished? Yeah. And you're still a bit far ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a bit better. Yeah, good. Awesome. All right. Thank you very much. All right, now, the final one that was shown in the course is the reverse windmill. Now, the reverse windmill, I would assume, is the I would say the regression to the actual windmill. I found that the windmill was in the classic 30, so I'm not sure. I'm going to include the windmill in this video. I'm actually, the reason why I'm going to include it is because it's in the classic 30 and it's not the reverse windmill in the classic 30 that's in the course, if that makes sense. So the reverse windmill is essentially what we're looking to do is, if I'm front on, I'm going to get the kettlebell and I'm going to put it at a bit of an angle, and then I'm going to angle off, all right? So I'm going to angle in basically in the same direction as the kettlebell, because what I'm then going to look to do, my arm in the air, I'm going to be watching my arm, I'm going to, with my legs pretty much straight, I'm going to, the supporting leg is straight, this leg can bend a little bit, I'm still looking up, and I'm just going to track down my own leg while folding at the hips, grab the kettlebell and up. And then back down, and then up. Alright? So, a little different from the windmill that we're used to, but essentially we're still looking to do the hip hinge. Alright? So, as we're off to the side, so I'm going to just get this off a little bit, offset to the side, arm in the air. Now, a good way to sort of start that I've found is start by looking forward, but as you go down, that's when you start looking up, okay? So, yeah. So, ready? Cool?
Yeah.
All right. So,
Angle.
yep, excellent. Good. Back down. Good. So, yep. So we're really trying to use this hip hinge here. Good. Yes, excellent. Yes. So a little different from the one we've been doing.
Yeah.
But a key factor is this hip hinge. That's what we're going for. Yeah, good. So those hips go back, excellent. And then, as I've been shown, this also strengthens that lower back here, which is why you've got to do it both sides. Alright, excellent. Thanks, John. So, I might, actually I won't be able to do that. Now, as I said, in the Classic 30, there was the normal windmill. Now the normal windmill has the kettlebell up top. Now, it's not in the technique requirements, but I figured I would still run through it. So with the normal windmill, or just the windmill, I want to call it normal, similar sort of setup. So we're actually going to get it to the roof so we can do a snatch and then do a windmill based on that, okay? So get it up to the top, all right? And now from here, because that is in the air, we're going to offset a little bit, and we're going to, as we look towards the kettlebell to keep it above us, we're going to track our hand down our leg. Okay, now this one, my arm's getting a little tired because it's just the one, but that's all right. There is a regression, and there is a regression on every single technique we've done. First regression, for most of them, is just drop the weight, right? And you know, you can get to the point where you drop the weight where there's no weight, all right? So the regression with this one, again, you can drop the weight, or you can do and just elbow to the ground or as far as you can. The main factor here is, again, it's that hip hinge. All right, so we're trying to get the this part of our body actually bending, which it's got so many implications for our flexibility, but our strength through that flexibility as well. So I think that this is probably one of my most challenging ones because because for my day job I've got that, you know, sitting down all the time. Are you sitting down at work?
Sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah. Well, because I sit down in front of a computer, like my hips often tighten up. So this is really good for hamstring, like a whole heap of strength around that. So we'll just do the windmill. Again, I'm not even sure if it's meant to be in this course, but we'll do it anyway. So up in the air, offset, hinge that hip. Good. Excellent. Good. All right, and just, yeah, if we can turn around for the masses, lovely. Offset our feet. Good. Right. Now, put on the ground.
Yeah.
Yep. So, cool. Now that is, which way were you doing? You were doing it that way. Flip opposite. Right. So, okay, so here's the thing, right? With the windmill, because we're actually trying to get that hip stretch. It's actually, so you were facing that way, right? We're actually
other way.
trying to, yeah. So
We'll do it again. Do it again. Do it again. That way.
that way, yes. Okay. Excellent. That's much better.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
Now that is actually, he's got some good alignment, etc., etc. But again, not sure if that technique was required for the course because it wasn't in the final thing. But hopefully that gives me a little bonus tick, and we go from there. Okay, now we're a little late. We're going to do the classic 30, and then we'll do a start of the advanced complex. So the classic 30 is, we do 10 swing, 5 clean, 5 snatch, 5 press and 5 windmill. Okay? So if I can get you to pick up, so the swings are 10 of double-handed swings, and then you can go 5 clean on one side. Now you can pump these out fairly quickly because I do have to go soon.
Try.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10 into clean. Good. Maintain that. Remember not to make it slap. Yeah, good. Neutral hand at the top. Yeah, and then 5 snatch. Up to the top. Yeah, good. Use the swing. Good. That's it. 2, 3, 4, 5. Right down to rack. Or up the rack now. position, 4, back to rack, 5, that's it, good. And then windmill, good.
That way.
Yes. 1, 2, 3, hip hinging, good. 4, 5. So, good. Now we've done one side.
Yeah.
Again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Into clean. 9, 10. Now, we want to make sure, as we're getting tired, we're still doing good technique. So remember, loose, tight, loose, tight. Loose, loose, tight, loose. Good. Nice. This side's obviously your strongest side.
Yep.
Alright, and now press. So into rack. All the way back to rack. Yes, good. All the way back to the rack. Good. 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 Glad you did the, I think that's it for that one. Excellent, well done everyone. So I'm glad that he did his strong side last, because not much, I didn't need to do much queuing or anything for that. So, we'll do the advanced complex, 10 down. So with that classic 30, we'll probably do that one time for someone that's never done it before. We'll do it 2 times for people that have been here for a couple of weeks, maybe a month or 2. And then for more advanced, we do that maybe 3 times. Once they've done it, once they've got to 3 times and they're kicking a bit of ass with that, we'll move to the advanced complex, which is 10 down. Now, we won't do the full 10 down. 21 down is the next step after that. But 10 down is basically, we do 10 of each of these coming things. This is what we'll do now, 10 of each, but then you do 9 of each, and then 8 of each, and then 7 of each, etc., etc. So, we're just gonna do 10 swings, 10 cleans, 10 squats, 10 snatch, and then a backwards lunge. Now this one is going to be, I would suggest using the 12, because what we're going to do is the backwards lunge like we did before, right? But then as we come up, we are, and this is where it's going to be the difficult, we're going to lift our knee, all right? So, boom, up there, backwards lunge, and then up. Yeah.
Okay. And is it 10 on the one side?
Yes, 10 on the one side. So choose your strong side, because I can, to be honest, I can only stay for another 5 minutes. So we're just going to be doing one side, but obviously we do both sides, and we'll do. Let's just do 5. So we'll go. Okay, alright, you want to do the full 10?
No.